YouTube, what's good? It's your boy J Razor, and I'm here to give you my first tutorial, man. So hopefully it could be a good one. You know, y'all like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell for notifications every time I drop a video, and we're gonna get it in. So as you can see, I start off brushing the hair. You always want to brush the hair to lay it down. You know what I'm saying? That way you have a good foundation. And I started off with the Cordless Masters with a 1 guard closed. And I go all the way around the head, getting every hair that's standing up so it can lay down for an even, smooth cut. And as you can see, I'm going to the right because that's the way that his hair grows. And shout out to my boy Gun for, you know, being a model. Barbers cut barbers, you know. But yeah, like I say, his hair grows to the right. So I don't want to go against the way the hair grows, because if I do, it's gonna patch him, for those who don't know. So like I said, as you can see, I'm just smoothing the hair out to lay my foundation on my cut. And I'm gonna start with my edge. I'm not gonna put a defined edge on it. I'm just gonna lay my groundwork, so therefore when it is time for me to start my fade, then I can see what I'm doing. And it's kind of crazy how barbers are set up. Well, I know that's the way I'm set up. Like, I kind of have to start my edge first, or some of my videos that you may see in the future, you may see me do like start the fade and like be almost finished, and then line up my client. And the only reason that I do that is because when you put the edge on there, you can see everything a lot better. Everything comes to life, and you see like, there's something else I can get, you know. But it's just to the trained eye. So as you can see, line them up on one side, and I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. So y'all just sit back and watch. Alright, so as you can see, I set my first line of demarcation with my edges. Now note, for those of y'all who just starting out with cutting, like, you want to make your first demarcation line with like close clippers, because edge line is hard to get out. I've been doing it for a while. And my second line is with the gold BaByliss FX clippers. I started with the half, and like you'll see me go back and forth between my half and my 1.5 or whatever. And I started with my lever open because of the simple fact that you could take hair off, but you can't put it back on, if that makes any sense. Because if you take too much off, then you can't just magically make it come back. So like I said, I start with my half open and work my way up. You want to start highest with it open, and the more you close it up, the lower you want to go. So like I said, you're gonna see me switch between guards. And as you can see now, I'm kind of trying to notch that first demarcation line out that I used with my half. And then I switched to the black FX clippers, because the blade on that is more of a fade blade, so it's gonna be a little closer cut, and it'll be more easier for me to get that edger line out. And I'm gonna do the same thing with these clippers as well. I'm gonna go between my half, my 1.5, and my 1. And like I said, that blade is just a little closer than the one that come on the gold clippers. I don't know what was funny right there, but it must have been hella funny. But yeah, it's set a little closer. And then I have it 0 gap too, I think. So it's gonna cut a lot closer than it would like right out the box. So just a recap. When I started with my gold FX clippers, I did my demarcation line with my trimmers. My second line was a half guard open, and I worked my way up. And I'm gonna continue to notch at that demarcation line that the edge is made to knock that line out just a little bit. And I'm not done with the fade, but I'm gonna go back and tweak it some when I finish. Okay, so now I'm about to use my enhancements. I use Toppik. Sometimes I use the compressor, but I'm out of what I use right now. So yeah, I use Toppik when I can. And I used for my, I was gonna say adhesive. For my holding spray, I used the Skin Tight razor edge spray. Yes, that's what it's called. I'll leave the links in the description. But yeah, I hit it with my holding spray once. Then I come behind it with the Toppik. Then I come behind it with the holding spray again. And I kind of fill in where some of the Toppik didn't go. You'll see that in a minute. See what I'm saying? Like, I'm just going back and kind of filling in some of those small gaps. Like I said, where I didn't get the Toppik at the first time. And then I come behind it one last time with the holding spray to lock it all in, and I let it dry. Well, or sometimes I let it air dry, or sometimes I'll take my blow dryer and dry it. So like if I let it air dry, I'll spray the holding spray on there, and then like do something else. I'll go to another step or something, or even like how I just did right there, like how I'm trying to comb the Toppik to kind of try to break it up so it won't look like too unnatural. See? So I say I let it air dry some, and I'll try to fade the beard out, align the beard up, or what I'm doing right here, I'm kind of going back, trying to notch at that line with my gold FX clippers. Or like I said, you could use a blow dryer, either or. And now I'm going in, kind of, notching it a little weight that I see here and there. Maybe y'all see it. If y'all still see something, let me know. Let me know down in the comments. And now that it's dry, I'm gonna start my edging process. This is gonna give me a more defined edge on my client. You see, I kind of start with one corner, then go to the other corner of my edger blade. And see, you always want to keep it at a good angle, because you don't want your client to have a McDonald's edge or like a round edge if that's not what they're looking for. You know what I'm saying? And like me personally, like how I just did the C, me personally, I don't like the C, but some people do. So you kind of got to do what the client asks for. So, I mean, that's what he wanted. That's what I gave him. Me personally, I don't like the C. But, I mean, some people do. And so I'm going to kind of go around the ear and knock that little hair off before I make my final edge on the back after I get done with the taper. So you want to hold the ear down and go around the ear as light as possible. And you don't want to ever make sure your clippers, you want to make sure your clippers are never too sharp, because you can cut somebody, especially going around the ear. because I don't know why, but that's a real sensitive spot. And it's easy to cut. Easy. I guess because the skin's so thin right there. But I'm going in and detailing my edge a little bit more. And I'm basically going to do the same thing to the other side. So, like I said earlier, I'm going to let y'all sit and watch me work. Watch me work. Okay, so now for the back taper. It's basically the same thing as the other sides. I'm gonna start with my black FX closed for a good line, for a good demarcation line. I didn't want to use my edges on the back because the skin on the nape can be kind of sensitive as well as around the ear. So I didn't want to kind of scar them up, even though my clippers are not sharp, but you never know. I said, so I want to start with my fade blade closed, and then I went back, with my half, and just like on the other sides, like you'll see me go in between my half, my 1 and my 1.5, trying to get those demarcation lines out. And then I go back to my gold FX, and I'm gonna use a different term this time because some people say feathering instead of notching. Like you may say notching around somebody and they be like, what? Notching? What is it? And then you feathering. Oh, okay. So like I said, I go back and feather or notch it, those demarcation lines. And once again, like I said previously, you'll see me go in between guards. Like I rarely use big guards unless I'm cutting big hair. But anytime that you see a video of mine or even watching me cut, period, I go in between those 3 guards majority of the time. And maybe I'll squeeze a 2 in every now and then, but a half, a 1, and a 1.5, those are my go-to. Like, I can't fail. I can never fail with those 3. And like I said, you always want to brush it down so that, like I said, you can get a more even and precise cut and get every hair that was untouched, basically. And right here, I'm gonna do nothing but go around the sides of the ears like I did on the other side. Get it back taper a little more defined. Get it back edge a little more defined. You know what I'm saying? So just watch me work. Okay, so now I'm basically finishing up the cut. Putting a little, finishing details on my edge, and I gotta put this part in there. You always want to go back and do little finishing touches before you get your client out the chair, because you don't want to send them out the door looking in any kind of way. Just imagine if you were a client instead of a barber, and you walk into a shop and somebody just let you out the chair any kind of way. You wouldn't like that. I don't think nobody would like that. So like I said, do your little finishing touches and make sure everything is in place right. And I mean, here's the final product. Here's the before. And here's the after. Wow. Man. I ain't the best there is, but I mean, I'm good enough. Appreciate y'all for watching my video. We're gonna stay dropping fresh content for y'all to watch. So if you're new to this channel, like, comment, and subscribe. And you can even drop in the comments what haircut you would like to see me do next. If you need me, hit me up.